From the flickering flames of ancient campfires to the hushed whispers of modern gatherings, ghost stories have captivated humanity for millennia. Cultures across the globe, separated by vast oceans and contrasting customs, share a common fascination with tales of spirits and specters. These narratives, passed down through generations, transcend time and geography, weaving a tapestry of fear, wonder, and the enduring mystery of the afterlife. Ghost stories serve as a testament to the human desire to understand the unknown, to grapple with the boundaries of life and death. They offer a glimpse into the shadows that linger at the edge of perception, a realm where the familiar laws of nature seem to bend and break. These tales, whispered in hushed tones, reflect our deepest anxieties about mortality, loss, and the unseen forces that may shape our destinies. Across continents and epochs, ghost stories take root in the soil of human experience, drawing upon shared fears and universal themes. The restless spirits of the deceased, seeking solace or revenge, haunt our collective imagination, reminding us of the enduring power of the past to reach into the present. Whether told around a crackling fire or shared through the digital ether, these tales continue to send shivers down our spines, reminding us that some mysteries may never be fully explained. In the annals of unexplained phenomena, there are few cases as perplexing and eerie as the one we are about to explore. The case of the Beelings bells stands as a chilling testament to the uncanny, a story that has intrigued and baffled minds for generations. In 1834, Major Edward Moore, a distinguished retired officer of the East India Company and a respected Fellow of the Royal Society, found himself at the heart of a perplexing and unsettling mystery. Major Moore was known for his rational mind and scientific approach, making the events that unfolded all the more bewildering. His peaceful residence, located in the serene village of Beelings, Suffolk, became a locus of inexplicable activity that would baffle both skeptics and believers alike. The village, known for its tranquility, was suddenly thrust into the spotlight of a mystery that defied logical explanation. For weeks on end, the residence was plagued by inexplicable ringing sounds, emanating from within the very walls of the house. These sounds were not just occasional disturbances, they were persistent, occurring at all hours of the day and night. These were not the faint chimes of a misplaced bell. They were loud, insistent, and utterly impossible to ignore. The intensity and frequency of the ringing created an atmosphere of constant tension and unease. The phantom peals echoed through the corridors and chambers, defying any rational explanation. The sounds seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once, adding to the sense of dread that permeated the household. Family members, servants, and even neighbors bore witness to this auditory anomaly, their testimonies lending credence to the growing unease that gripped the household. The shared experiences of these individuals painted a picture of a phenomenon that was both real and inexplicable. Major Moore, a man of science and reason, refused to accept supernatural explanations at face value. His background in the military and his scientific training compelled him to seek a logical explanation for the events. He meticulously investigated every conceivable source of the ringing. His investigations were thorough and methodical, leaving no stone unturned in his quest for answers. He examined the house's structure, searching for hidden mechanisms or loose fixtures that might account for the sounds. His efforts included detailed inspections of the walls, floors, and ceilings, looking for any clue that could solve the mystery. He interviewed witnesses, meticulously documenting their accounts in an attempt to discern patterns or inconsistencies. Each testimony was carefully recorded, adding to the growing body of evidence that something extraordinary was occurring. Yet, despite his best efforts, the source of the Beelings bells remained elusive, leaving him and his contemporaries to grapple with the unsettling possibility that they had encountered a phenomenon beyond the realm of human understanding. The mystery of the Beelings bells continues to intrigue and mystify, a symphony of the unseen that echoes through the annals of history. The English Civil War, a period of profound upheaval and bloodshed, left an indelible mark on the nation's psyche, forever altering the course of its history and the lives of those who lived through it, giving rise to countless tales of heroism, betrayal, and lingering unrest. These stories have been passed down through generations, each one adding a layer of complexity to the already intricate tapestry of the war's legacy. Among these stories, the account of Theophilus Brome stands out as a particularly chilling example of a soldier's pact with fate, broken by the passage of time and the intrusion of the supernatural. His tale is one that has intrigued historians and ghost enthusiasts alike. Brome, a royalist soldier who had switched allegiances to fight for Cromwell's parliamentarians, carried a heavy burden of guilt and fear. His decision to change sides was not taken lightly, and it haunted him for the rest of his life. Haunted by the spectre of retribution from his former comrades, he made an unusual request of his sister. Upon his death, he implored her to preserve his skull and keep it within the family home. This request was as peculiar as it was macabre, reflecting the depth of his fear and the weight of his guilt. His motivations remain shrouded in mystery. Perhaps he believed that keeping his skull within the domestic sphere would offer him a measure of protection in the afterlife, or prevent his restless spirit from wandering. Some speculate that it was a desperate attempt to atone for his perceived betrayal. Years after Brome's demise, his former farmhouse became the site of strange and unsettling occurrences. The once peaceful home was now a place of fear and unease, its atmosphere thick with the presence of the past. Tenants who dared to occupy the dwelling reported hearing disembodied screams and groans, emanating from the very walls that had once housed the soldiers' earthly remains. These sounds were not just fleeting noises, but persistent, chilling reminders of the home's haunted history. These auditory disturbances were often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread and the unshakable feeling of being watched. The tenants described the sensation as if unseen eyes were constantly observing their every move, adding to the home's eerie reputation. The disturbances grew in intensity whenever attempts were made to remove the skull from the property, as if an unseen force sought to ensure that Brome's pact, however macabre, would be upheld. It was as though the very essence of Brome's spirit was bound to the skull, and any effort to separate it from the home was met with fierce resistance. The year 1695 witnessed a reign of terror on a seemingly ordinary Scottish farm, as the Mackey family found themselves besieged by a force they could neither comprehend nor control. The once serene and picturesque landscape of their farm became a backdrop for inexplicable and terrifying events. The entity, later dubbed the Mackey poltergeist, tormented the family with relentless cruelty, showing no mercy or respite. It seemed to take a perverse pleasure in their suffering, escalating its malevolent activities with each passing day, transforming their once peaceful homestead into a battleground between the mundane and the malevolent. The walls of their home, which once echoed with laughter and warmth, now reverberated with fear and despair. The assaults began subtly, with objects being mysteriously misplaced or overturned. At first, the family thought it was mere forgetfulness or the playful antics of children. Livestock grew agitated, their usual placidity replaced by an unnerving restlessness. The animals, sensitive to the unseen forces, became harbingers of the chaos that was to come. As the days turned into weeks, the disturbances escalated in both frequency and intensity. What began as minor annoyances soon transformed into life-threatening events. Fires erupted spontaneously, threatening to consume the farmhouse in flames. The family lived in constant fear of being engulfed by these sudden infernos. Household objects imbued with an unseen energy were hurled across rooms with terrifying force. The Mackeys could no longer trust the safety of their own home. The Mackeys, once a close-knit family, found themselves living in a constant state of fear, their bonds tested by the relentless onslaught of the poltergeist's attacks. Their lives ruled by the capricious whims of an entity that seemed to delight in their suffering. Every creak of the floorboards, every gust of wind became a potential harbinger of the next attack. Word of the Mackey family's plight spread throughout the region, drawing the curious and the concerned alike. Neighbors whispered in hushed tones, and the once isolated farm became a focal point of local lore, attracting the attention of clergymen and scholars eager to document and understand these extraordinary events. They arrived with a mix of skepticism and fascination, hoping to uncover the truth behind the haunting. Reverend Alexander Telfair, a man of deep faith and meticulous observation, played a pivotal role in investigating the haunting. His presence brought a semblance of hope to the beleaguered family. He interviewed witnesses, carefully recording their testimonies and seeking to separate genuine supernatural phenomena from exaggeration or delusion. His methodical approach lent credibility to the accounts he gathered. Telfair's detailed accounts of the Mackay poltergeist, preserved in historical archives, provide a rare and invaluable record of one of the most intense hauntings of the era, offer a chilling glimpse into the raw terror that gripped the family and the wider community. These documents continue to intrigue and terrify those who study them, a testament to the enduring mystery of the Mackay poltergeist.